MIO Memories in Orbit is an utterly excellent indie Metroidvania from the small team at Douze Dixièmes, distilling the genre's best aspects into a refreshing sci-fi setting. More so than probably any other genre, Metroidvanias live or die on their ability to instill a strong sense of place. Hollow Knight did it, Super Metroid itself obviously did it, and it's also one of my favourite things about the mesmerizingly beautiful MIO Memories in Orbit. True, I may not fully understand the machinations of its luscious, pencil sketch sci-fi world even after rolling credits, but from the moment I awoke as its wispy robot hero, I always knew enough to want to help put it back together, both physically and in my own mind. This is just one striking example of how MIO is the type of Metroidvania perfectly poised to delight and intrigue in equal measure, forever tugging on your curiosity while mixing in abstract storytelling with themes of the technological and otherworldly. The result is not only one of 2026's earliest indie must-plays, but a Metroidvania I'd instantly put up there with some of the genre's most recent best.
We remember kindness. We remember warmth.
One of the biggest aspects MIO Memories in Orbit obviously has going for it is right there on a surface level: its appearance. Rather than opt for a pixelated aesthetic in a bid to tug on your nostalgia, there's a concerted effort by developer Douze Dixièmes here to truly encase you in a type of world you haven't quite experienced in a video game before, one reminiscent of a more optimistic future. It does so by implementing an art style that is distinctly more hand-drawn in nature by design, complete with sketch blemishes and pencil outlines aplenty, which combines with a colour palette that somehow manages to comfortably straddle a somber yet hopeful tone. Only through your own actions do you stand a chance of gradually tipping it into the latter's favour. Speaking of which, it's in what you do where MIO plays a lot more familiarly. Being a 2D Metroidvania in the truest and most classic sense, most of your time exploring the mysterious vessel involves acquiring unique abilities needed to unlock new areas, mastering these new abilities to traverse deeper, and taking on bosses. So many bosses. This is where MIO stringently leans into the genre's more modern sensibilities, I'd say, placing just as much emphasis on climactic one-on-one encounters as exploration, rivaling the likes of Nine Souls and yes, Hollow Knight and even its sequel in terms of the challenge they pose. I wouldn't say that MIO Memories in Orbit is as punishing as Team Cherry's most recent effort, yet boss fights, both compulsory and optional, certainly go out of their way to test your knowledge and implementation of MIO's skills to a meticulous degree, to the extent that I was forced to face off against several well into the double digits. From a scarecrow-like android's nature to repeatedly sweep the screen, to the way a four-armed tank will slam you from your orbit, bosses can prove just as much of a nuisance as they are a highlight, but all are thoughtfully designed, and learning the patterns of each to work out how to better overcome them is always infinitely gratifying. MIO Memories in Orbit gives out just as much as you're willing to put in then, always rewarding your persistence with another neat upgrade or unexpected modifier that makes the very thought of backtracking through an area something to not dread and, dare I say, actually look forward to. MIO might be difficult at times, but it certainly isn't a Souls-like, most obviously evidenced by how you cannot regain your precious Naker once you are killed. However, if anything, this made me even more determined to pick my specific route and method of traversal very carefully. Whether it was MIO's hover ability, hooking to grapple points using her hairpin, or climbing over walls using the spindly striders, platforming always feels responsive, snappy, and fulfilling, providing you recognize the limits of your stamina bar, that is. The world of the vessel is host to several secrets, with all the story's main layers waiting to be peeled back by players willing to test the full limits of MIO's abilities. As hinted at earlier though, I know full well that I ended the adventure without revealing them all, yet I still completed MIO's mission, confident of the narrative and game's overall message. I won't mention what this ultimately ended up being for fear of spoilers, only to say that Douze Dixièmes did an excellent job at making me care about locating and then bringing back all the ship's various parts and elements, all without showing a single human character on screen at all. ever. Honestly, if there's one criticism I could levy at MIO Memories in Orbit at all, it's in the inconsistency of its modifier system. You see, at various points in the adventure, you'll come across new modifiers that can only be installed after you've expanded more slots in MIO's inventory by purchasing them through Mel the Mechanic using both Nacre and an even more precious resource, old cores. The act of doing this works absolutely fine, but I wouldn't say that all modifiers are created equal. Having my stamina regenerate faster during fights isn't as powerful as having every third hit of my 3 combo attack hit a lot harder, for instance, but I'm aware that this might not be the case for every player. Fortunately, there are dozens of different modifiers to find and install into MIO that help further customize your experience. By the end, I just didn't feel I was able to live up to my full potential, since I found that the upgrade system's particular give and take style setup sometimes leaned a little too heavily on the take side. MIO Memories in Orbit definitely pulls heavily on some of the Metroidvania genre's most beloved recent entries for inspiration. Sure, most obviously seen in the emphasis on challenging bosses and a fully customizable upgrade system. However, on top of this, it layers a truly unique sci-fi world I never could stop myself from wanting to explore deeper, coated in one of the most beautiful art styles I've seen from an indie game in ages. The soundtrack too, what with its synthesized piano and haunting choirs, does well to transport you into this unknown version of the distant future even better. Combine this with some incredibly tight platforming and combat, and MIO Memories in Orbit earns its place in the pantheon of worthwhile Metroidvania jaunts. As such, it's a small-scale sci-fi odyssey I won't soon forget. We at All Out Gaming award MIO Memories in Orbit a 4 out of 5. So there you have it guys, in terms of my full review for MIO Memories in Orbit. Do you plan on picking this one up? Are there any Hollow Knight fans out there? I'm sure you would enjoy this one. Be sure to let us know in the comment section below. Then, why not leave this video a like if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe to the All Out Gaming YouTube channel to stay up to date with even more videos like this. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.